We're going to talk about replacing a broken trigger spring on a Browning Auto 5. Now these springs, it's pretty common for them to break, and what breaks is this little center finger here that goes on your detent ball. They pop, they break off. Now this is a new Japanese spring here. I like these springs a lot better because what they've done to keep them from breaking as readily is when they've taken these, they've cut these slots down in the middle of the spring. You can see they're a little bit offset. Well, here's a Belgium spring. It's not offset at all. You see the cuts come straight back. Well, that weakens it right through there. So the Japanese spring is a far superior spring. That makes it resistant to breaking. But anyway, they break all the time. That's common. Here's one here. The center fork is broken off the spring. So we're going to replace this spring now. Back to this Belgium spring. This is an early Belgium spring. And this has a couple tabs on it, ears on the side of the spring. The Japanese spring does not have that. Now, the Japanese springs, and the ones with that don't have the ears, go into the receivers, guards, that have a hole drilled in them for a pin that retains and holds that spring in place. So you put that spring in, put your pin in, holds it in place. Now, if you have an old style gun that has some tabs, slots cut in the guard, that's for these tabs to slide up in. Well, we're having these springs made up, and all of them I think we have made. We're gonna have them both. Probably gonna make them all with the tabs on them. Then if you get one from me, you don't need the tabs. You can just grind them off. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, here's what you can do if you have a new style spring. You have an old style gun that's cut for these ears. They don't interchange readily, but there's a little trick you can do to make that happen. And here's what we do. You need to put your trigger in place and put your safety in. And here's your detent ball. You'll need a pair of tweezers to get a hold of that. Put that detent ball where it goes. Now, take your new style spring, no tabs on this, so it's not going to slide up the slot, and lay it in place. Well, there it is, but there's nothing to hold it in. Here's a little trick you can use. Take your old spring, here's a broken one, and grind it back towards these tabs. And that'll give you something like this. Grind it back, don't grind into the tabs, stay about 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch in front of those. Then, this works. Then you can take your old spring, put it on top of the new spring, put those little ears right down in to the guard, like so, and slide it in. And what that's going to do, of course, is that's going to hold your new style spring in place. And just slide it up into position, and take a punch or what have you, put them down in there and pull it forward and line up your hole. And there you have it. Your new style spring is being held in by what's left of the old broken spring. And that works. That's just a little trick. Now you have detent to your safety. Now you're ready to put your main spring in, and you're ready to go. So anyway, that's just one little trick that'll tell you how, if we sell you a spring and it doesn't have these tabs on it and you need tabs, don't worry about it. Just take your old spring, grind it back as we talked about towards these ears, but don't grind into them, just stay right in front of them. And use that broken part of your spring to hold that new style spring in place. It's just a little trick that works out really well.